Okay, so all that's left is Fee, and then we can do the ones that will give us a knowledge point or whatever. I can only imagine that this bonding event is going to end well. I don't want to leave her here, but I don't want to wake her up either. Maybe I can carry her to a bed without her waking up? Up we go. She's definitely awake. There's no way with her instincts she didn't notice getting picked up. I refuse to believe that. I'm surprised at how light she is. I hope she's eating well enough. We might be in the middle of a war, but someone her age still needs to eat and sleep well. She's still growing. Not that she's ever had an issue with sleep. She's actually built pretty well for how young she is. Okay. It's like her muscles have developed specifically for the purpose of being useful on the battlefield. I imagine that comes with constantly being on a battlefield. Just holding her like this tells me a lot about the life she's led until now. Rian? Sorry, did I wake you up? It's fine. What are you doing, though? You were napping in the hallway, so I figured it'd be best to let you sleep in an actual bed. So you were taking me to bed then. Let's not say things that could wind up labeling me as a criminal. That face, though. What's up? Nothing much. I had a dream about what happened 10 years ago. Back when the boss first took me into Zephyr. Ah, I see. Might have been 'cause you were carrying me. I wish I could see him again. I know, Fee. Looks like she was only half awake. That's gonna definitely make meeting Randy down the line a little awkward. Phoebe, like, disappointed? She really is. Has she started seeing Zephyr's leader in me, though? It's true that we've essentially become Fee's new family at this point, but even then, we can't replace Zephyr for you, you know? I don't think with the way she, like, tackled you to the ground when we first reunited with her, I don't think she sees you as her replacement dad. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that. Guess there's no need to bring it up. She'll probably have forgotten all about this once she's awake. There we go. You tucked her in with her shoes on? Monster. I'll come back. I'll come wake her up when it's time for us all to meet up. Rush 2. What does that mean? She's out like a light. I'll have to wake her before we head off. Okay, so I think all the people who are left are the people who will give us points. So let's go ahead and load the save again. We're probably not going to do this every single rest day. It's a lot. However, I have enjoyed all the ones we've seen. They were all pretty interesting. Start with Usis. Hey Usis, what do you say we walk around the market for a bit? Should be pretty fun since they're finally getting it back together. What brought this on? Who cares? Come on, let's go. With that, Reen dragged a reluctant Eustace to the Grand Market. This is the first time I've been to Celtic's Grand Market. Really? That's a surprise. Though I guess you never had the chance to come here during any of our field studies. While it may be part of the Kreutzen province, I rarely visited Celtic itself. In fact, I hardly left Bereahard area before entering Thor's. Well, it's all the more reason to make the most of our time here, right? Kind of a shame it's not nearly as bustling as it was the last time we were here. Maybe I should head back to the Courageous after. All right, lads, how's it keeping? Oh, it's Becky's dad. How are you, sir? It's been a while. I heard you lot did some real work at the Twin Dragons Bridge. We actually got some nice fresh apples in this morning, so here, fancy a wee try? No worries either, it's on me. Think of it as celebrating Celtic's freedom. Well, if you're offering, thanks. How exactly does one eat this? You bite it. The end. Just bite it. Just take a bite into it. You've never had an apple? I thought you weren't taken in by the Duke until you were 10. Surely in the time between ages 0 and 10, you had a freaking apple. Surely. I refuse to believe your uncle, who is a chef, never gave you an apple. You're right. The juiciness enhances its flavor as well. Good to hear, good to hear. And just to be sure, you're Duke Alberea's son, right? Maybe. What's it to you? You do? No need to panic, wee man. I've just heard rumors about you and your bro, is all. They say the youngest brother is a bit unfriendly, but always kind to wee kids, and the like. Then there's the eldest brother, who's so skilled, he's one of the reasons the Noble Alliance has been doing so well in the war. That is certainly true. Well, I can't deny that most of us at the Grand Market aren't exactly fond of Duke Alberea. What a coincidence, I don't think Eustace is either. But at the same time, I'm no nearly silly enough to hold some grudge against you, just because you're his son. Pretty sure the same applies to everyone else, too. It's a relief to hear you say that. Thank you so much. No bother. I'd hate to see him not have a good time here is all. What a nice guy. Becky's family is great. I certainly wasn't expecting that. After everything that's happened here because of my father's influence, I thought to hang my head low, but who would have thought I'd be accepted so readily? You aren't your father, Eustace. You have a conscience. Key difference. It's not all that complicated, you know. In the end, your only tie to the Duke is through your blood, right? So just be yourself, Eustace. Be proud of who you are. Like you usually are. I really haven't been myself recently, have I? Not if you're giving me pep talks like these. You're right, Reen. I should take this time to prepare for future outings rather than waste it worrying over nothing. Good to hear. My bond with Eustace strengthened. I'm probably not going to use Eustace, though. With all the provincial army has done, I wouldn't blame the people of Celtic for hating me. What a surprise to see that such is not the case. I wish I could show this to my father and my brother. Oh, well, let's hang out with Emma while we're over here. All right, we're going to the Lunaria Nature Park, right? That's what this was. I'm more than confident you'll be able to take care of yourself, but would you be opposed to some company? I'd like to see how the park is doing now myself. By all means, I'd be happy to have your company. Well then, shall we? We shall. Together, Reen and Emma stepped out onto the highway and walked to the park. We only walked her to the park. We didn't offer her a ride, like, with Elisa. I guess Elisa kind of offered on her own. Something certainly is out of balance here. And I can sense the presence of the higher elements as well. Fortunately, their effect seems to be limited to within the park itself. You don't think that there could be a cryptid here, like Lohengrin Castle, do you? I do not want to fight a cryptid with just me and Emma. Please, no. Well, I don't sense one now. The higher elements are only present in the park itself, so I think they're here as a result of the chaos in Erebonia, particularly because this area is close to a spirit vein. But I can't offer any guarantees that the surrounding area won't be affected in the future, though. Emma? I'm sorry, I was wondering if I might be able to calm things down a little. I think I'll try, at least. Please step away. I didn't know she could do this. Oh, Spirit Vein, calm the chaos of this land by the guidance of my mana. Any luck? No, unfortunately not. As I feared, my power simply isn't enough to quell a disturbance of this magnitude. And Celine's assistance wouldn't help me do any better. Oh, well, at least you tried. Is something wrong? I was just thinking, I bet Vita would be able to do it. Yeah, well, she's an Anguis. I bet she could. With the amount of power she has, she'd be able to handle something like this without even trying. Again, she's an Anguis. It'd be weird if she couldn't. Oh, right. I've always been following behind her, desperately trying to catch up. I've always admired the incredible talent she has as a witch. No, admiration isn't quite it. The truth is, I've always had an inferiority complex when it comes to her. I'm always comparing myself to her, always reminded of how lacking I am in comparison. I'm sorry, you've ended up with a weak witch like me instead of a competent one like her. If only I were stronger. As I am, there's no way that I'll ever be able to catch up to her. Not with that kind of attitude. You keep saying always, Emma. No one's born with the ability to do everything perfectly from the start. Just like with my swordsmanship, there's always going to be someone who has more experience. Arios. So rather than beat yourself up for not matching up, you should take it one step at a time instead. One step at a time? Yeah, and we'll all be there doing the same thing with you. And gradually, bit by bit, we'll all become more experienced and skilled at what we do. It's not something you can do overnight, but one day, you'll be able to catch up with her. I suppose you're right. All we can do now is focus on the tasks at hand and hope that will get us closer. I think I was just feeling a little impatient and frustrated. Don't mind me. I don't mind at all, really. We all get that way sometimes. Anyway, we've come all the way to the park. Wanna walk around and relax some? Sounds lovely. Reen and Emma then enjoyed some quality time relaxing and admiring the area around Lunaria Nature Park before eventually returning to Celtic. Thank you for the encouraging words, Reen. I think you're right, too. All we can do is take things step by step and hope that doing so eventually leads us to our goal. The more impatient I get, the harder it'll be for me to keep advancing. All right. So now we need Towa and Elliot. Let's do Elliot first. We're gonna listen to Andre perform. Exciting! Oh, are you coming too? Sure, might as well. That wide open area over there looks like it'll make for a good listening spot, shall we? Can we not hear Andre well enough from our chairs? We shall. He's like literally right over there. Not bad, wee man. Yeah, music like that is perfect for the Grand Market. Ah, yeah. Now I'm all jazzed up to work twice as hard. Thank you. Thank you. Please note that the hat is open to donations. Wow, he's good. That performance was something else. Yeah, even I could tell just how good it was. It seems to have lifted everyone's spirits here in the market a little too. You're right. It really is incredible how something so simple can put people's minds at ease. Music really does hold its own unique power, doesn't it? I'd have to agree with that. Concerts like this one, and even our own, really make me realize how amazing music can be. Yeah, I feel like that fact sinking in for me all over again. There are things that music can do that military forces can't. Just like how there are things we can do that no one else can. Rescuing Fiona is as good an example of that as any. Exactly. Whenever we're feeling down, we just have to remember that we've got our own role to play in all this. And we'll keep trying to find it while doing all we can to bring this conflict to an end. Yeah. My bond with Elliot strengthened. It's like I've been reminded of the power of music all over again. As long as this war's going on, I want to find a way to make people's lives better. That increased my relationship with him? Really? Well, it got me like a knowledge point. That was so short. I really feel like Milliams should have. Weird. I can take half of that for you. Actually, I should probably take more than half. This stuff's probably as heavy as you are. There's no way you should be carrying it all on your own. Well, if you're sure. Oh, since you volunteered, mind doing something else for me too? There's a bunch of unstable stuff here that I thought I'd take care of myself, so if you don't mind. You want me to drag this junk for you somewhere too? If you think you can turn it into something useful, then sure. Rean cheerfully helped Towa sort all of the usable items and the unusable items, and together the two of them carried anything worthwhile back to the ship. I definitely said unstable, don't judge me. After that, they took the unusable stuff to the highway. There we go, all ready. This looks like a setup you'd see on a firing range. Uh-huh, that's exactly what it is. This is the perfect opportunity for me to get some practice in. And you know what they say, there's no time like the present. Oh, is her weapon of choice a gun? Practice, kind of practice. Just watch. She's got a gun. That's a normal gun, isn't it? A pretty big one at that. That design doesn't look like a thing your standard Rhineford production, though. That's because it was made at ZCF in the Burl, apparently. It's different from your average orbital gun in that it shoots arts-based bullets. I guess the easiest way to understand is to think of it as an orbital staff, but like in the shape of a gun. I mean, if I had a choice between a staff and a gun, I'm pretty sure I'm taking the gun. First our Arcus units, now this. Technology continues to impress. I had no idea ZCF was even producing stuff like this. Prince Oliver gave it to you, didn't he? Yep, right before he parted ways with us. It's a prototype too, so normally only people involved in its development would be able to get their hands on one. The prince must have some connections within ZCF. Lucky us. I bet Elisa'd be surprised to hear about this. Well, it is a totally new invention. Thought I'd be okay with it because of my experience using regular orbital guns at the academy, but turns out I was wrong. So, would you mind helping me out with my target practice read? Not at all. Can I ask what brought all of this on, though? You're already the best backup we could ask for. It seems odd for you to be taking up a weapon now. I was actually a bit perplexed myself when he handed this to me, but I think he realized that I've been worried about my own lack of strength lately. You have? Sorry, I didn't even notice. Oh, it's okay. It's just I've been tasked with looking after the courageous. I can't rely on everyone protecting me forever. And this isn't just some minor clash we've been swept up in either. This is a full-on war in every sense of the word. If I can't look after myself, I'm just going to end up being a burden. That's the last thing I want. So, can you see why I want to become strong enough to protect myself? This has really been weighing you down, hasn't it? It's not just that either. Viscount Arsaid specifically chose me to succeed him. He's trusting me to fill his shoes. To me, that makes it my duty to become capable of supporting everyone on the Courageous. Well, that's more than enough to convince me. If you got your heart set on this, then I'll gladly help you out. Let's become stronger together, Towa, along with the rest of the Courageous. Yeah. She may be small, but I don't know anyone else who works half as hard as she does. I'll have to do what I can for her sake, too. After joining her practice for a while, Reen leisurely walked Towa back to town. My bond with Towa strengthened. Thanks for helping me with all that. I feel like I still need a lot more practice before I could be of any use in a fight, but I'll keep at it. At the very least, I want to get strong enough to protect myself so I don't slow anyone down in battle. Okay, all that's left is Sarah. And then we can finally progress.